Hello everybody out there. So for today's video, I wanted to do a video on unhealthy body image for men and for women, or guys and gals, or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of a video that I wanted to do for a while. I have like a list of videos that I want to do written down, but I recently saw someone else's video on it and I was like, you know what? I want to talk about it from a guy's perspective and also kind of give some insight overall to both men and women, obviously, because I didn't just say guys. To kind of start off though with my own little personal story, I don't really know who this video is for. I don't know if it's for younger people. I don't know if it's for people that are trying to get into the gym, trying to look better, be healthier, whatever it may be. I don't really know. I don't want to put anybody in a box and say this only applies to certain people, but I definitely think it's more directed to those groups of people. My own personal story though, when I first started going to the gym 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, I looked up to some people that were like bigger names in like the bodybuilding world, and I saw what they looked like, and I was like, I want to look like that someday. And you get so many years into the gym and you start realizing like a couple of things for both men and women. These people that you see on Instagram, they're going to be usually a lot of like the genetic elite, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but essentially what I mean by that is like they have really good fucking genetics. Like these guys have really good affinity to put on lean muscle mass. They have really good structure, shape, and size. These women naturally have like nice boobs or nice butts or nice waist or whatever it may be. And that's something that you really can't control too much. I mean, yeah, you can get surgeries and yeah, you can take all the drugs in the world, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of people out there that just have really good genetics. And I think when you're younger or first getting into the gym, you don't really realize that like sometimes you're kind of up against nature and what you were born with. And it's kind of hard to realize that at times like it may not be as achievable to get to those same beauty standards as other people just based solely on genetics, like just getting that out of the way right off the rip. So like I can tell you I don't have the same genetics as like Ronnie Coleman or Jay Cutler or Arnold. No matter how much I do, no matter if I take a bunch of drugs, no matter if I do this or that, to be honest with you, I'm never going to really look like them because my genetics are not going to be the same as them. Same thing for women. Like some women are just born with like a big butt and big boobs, and that's just the way it is. And yeah, you can get surgery and all that jazz, and you can kind of like, I guess, get closer to that ideal sense, but it still creates that unhealthy body image that you have to look like that. So it's kind of still a negative thing within just in the genetics idea. From there though, like really what I wanted to talk about though, past like the genetics point of things, is really like the unhealthy body image that we are putting on ourselves and putting on each other. Like I said, for myself, when I got into the gym, I kind of realized after a few years, like genetics was going to play a role. But also even these guys and women, if you see them, especially if they're into fitness, like people like idealize like Paige Hathaway or Steve Cook or the people. And right off the bat, I'm going to tell you like, I'm not someone who's going to say love your body at any size. I'm not going to buy into that bullshit. That's not my thing. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, demonize these people who look really good. No, because they've had to work their ass off to get to where they are, regardless of genetics. Like they've had to bust their ass, be on a strict diet, and go to the gym, work out, all this jazz. So like, I'm not going to say like, if you're super obese, you should be happy with that. No, like it's unhealthy for you. You shouldn't do that. Same thing if you're on the other spectrum and you're taking a bunch of drugs or you're super anorexic, I'm not going to support that either. Like you should be doing things that are healthy for you to get to where you want to get to. But if you look at people like these Instagram celebrities, Instagram people, like they have a certain genetic level of beauty, yes, but they put a lot of work in, so they get a little bit higher. Now, the issue that I really have is when we're on social media like Instagram or Facebook or other social platforms, or even for myself, like magazines like Muscular Development and stuff like that, you start seeing these photos of these guys and women and you're like, shit, like I want to look like that. Like they look like they're another fucking world of in shape and in like another level of being fit. And I think that you quickly realize, hold on one second. I'm dead. Hold on one second. One second. It's all messed up. Because I like get super close to my face because I think that it's all messed up. Sorry, I think that it's all messed up. I don't know. I think my phone's messed up, so it's kind of a weird pause, so I apologize if you got caught up in that. I don't think that I'm actually live on Facebook, but it is what it is. I'm going to keep going. So the point is, you see these people on Instagram, see these people on these other like social channels, and you start to realize like they're another level of actually being in like crazy good shape. And once you start to like really pay attention and you start looking at photos and really like kind of figuring out what's actually going on, you start to realize there's a lot of Photoshop and photo editing that goes into these photos. There are people's photos that I've seen where they're like in a competition. And again, I'm not going to say that they don't look fucking amazing, because they do. But when you look at their photos on their social media sites, it's like another fucking tier. Like, they look even better than they did at these like bodybuilding or like fitness for women, like women's bikini shows. They have more defined abs, like they have abs on abs, like they look fucking crazy. And you start to realize that a lot of this shit is Photoshop. These things you see in magazines, commercials, Instagram, Facebook, a lot of it is Photoshopped, and it's not realistic. It's literally a tier that is unreachable, because these people who already have great genetics, have busted their ass, who already look genetically good, are now taking those photos, whether they're doing it themselves or someone else is doing it for them. I don't give a shit. And their photos are being edited to make them look even better, to make them look even more beautiful, more unrealistic, more unattainable. And usually it's out there, those photos are out there to sell a supplement, to sell a clothing line, whatever it is. Guys' abs are better, girls' butts bigger, whatever it may be, tummies flatter, and it's edited photos to sell supplements or promote a brand or whatever it may be. And it really creates this unhealthy body image, because people start to think like, oh, I want to achieve that. And when they can't achieve it, because that fucking person who's editing their photos can't even achieve it, it starts to make them feel shitty. You start to feel bad about yourself because you're unable to achieve that same level of fitness, or not even a level, it's like an unrealistic level that even that person can't achieve. So I think it's a really unhealthy situation that we live in. Again, I can confidently tell you that I've seen photos of like big Instagram people where they're like kind of like more candid photos that they're not even really aware are being taken of them. And man, they look night and day different. There was a guy back in like the mid 2010s, which sounds kind of funny to say, but his like not publicist, but like his assistant released and leaked some of his unedited photos. And I can tell you right now, it was like he had taken his leg size and about doubled it. Like, so literally doubled his leg size with Photoshop. He had taken his abs and had shrunk his waist and more defined his abs, his six pack. So the photos looked completely different side by side, like way different. Same thing with a lot of like women's models, where you see these photos where they don't really have this super tiny waist, and all of a sudden their waist gets cut in, their boobs are blown up, they get a little bit of abs, maybe a little bit of lighting put in there. So I just really think that it's this unhealthy culture that we're creating. And again, I think the video is really for people that are getting into fitness or that are younger, because you might not realize that it is complete bullshit. Like, it's not bullshit to aspire to what someone looks like and use that as like a diving board to motivate you. But you shouldn't buy into it so much that you want to look like this person who is editing their photos, photoshopping their shit, and is now setting like an impossible to reach bar. And that's pretty much what I'm trying to get at, is like, just try and avoid that, because I can guarantee you, when I got to the point in time, a few years, 3-4 years into going into the gym, I felt bad about myself. I felt like it was my fault. Something was wrong with me. I wasn't doing enough. I could do more. So then what do you start doing? You start doing more cardio, you start going to the gym more, you start dieting harder, and you start doing negative damage to your body. And I think women do the same thing, where they see these women who are really skinny, or maybe that are in like really good shape. They start going on crazy diets, taking these crazy supplements, start doing things that are going to negatively impact and harm their body in the long term. And unfortunately, there's no real solution. I do like talking about stuff like this, where I feel like this is a solution to like the problem. But within this situation, there is no real true solution. The reason being is that you can tell everybody that you want on Instagram and social media, like, hey man, like, you need to stop. Like, you literally need to stop editing your shit and creating this unrealistic body image. But it's never going to happen, because people are going to keep doing it. Because again, like I said, they're trying to promote their products, promote their supplements, promote somebody else's shit, whatever it may be. And it just continues this cycle. So there is no real solution on like what's causing the problem. The only real solution, again, is really checking yourself. Again, I don't think it's bad to utilize these people as something you want to not aspire to be, that motivates you to go to the gym, motivates you to want to look a certain way. But don't say, I want to look like this guy or this girl, and then when you don't reach that level of fitness, because again, like, their genetics are crazy, their amount of dedication and time, like, that's literally their job at that point in time, is full-time being in really good shape all the time. And also the other part of things is, if you're looking at these photos, a lot of times they're just not realistic. They're photoshopped, they're edited, and unfortunately you just have to accept it, realize it, do the best you can. I know it's kind of like a shitty solution, but the best thing you can do is use it as a motivating tool. Don't use it as a measuring stick for how good you are, how much work you've put in, or how much you've succeeded at as far as like how you look. And don't tie your self-worth or your body image to another person, because I promise you, these people are at the top of their game, and then they're also given that little bit of fucking extra boost, little turbo nitro in there from editing their photos and fucking with their shit. So it'll just end up making you feel really shitty. So I don't really know. This is kind of more of a ranty video than I normally do. But hopefully someone out there sees it and appreciates it and gets something out of it. Maybe it'll just make you feel a little bit better, reframe things for you, or possibly if you're getting into fitness or you're a younger person, you're starting to look up to these like Instagram famous people. And again, it doesn't even have to be people that are in the fitness industry. There are plenty of girls on Instagram that are editing their photos, that are making different body parts look bigger or smaller or whatever. So at the end of the day, I just think the whole thing is don't buy into it. Don't get caught up in it. Try, and like I said, you can use it as a motivator for you to look better, but don't compare yourself to somebody else, because at the end of the day, all you're going to do is hurt yourself and make yourself feel shitty, and that's the last thing you want to do. So hopefully someone out there gets some positive shit from this video. The whole idea behind all these videos is to be a little bit more structured than this one, because normally I don't want to rant, but this was a rant, so here we are nonetheless. The whole name of the game, the whole goal is to help 100 million people in small ways and big ways, whether it's something small by someone watching this video and just them having a better perspective on how they want to look and how they view themselves. That's great. Whether it's completely life-changing or just improving their relationship, somewhere in the middle. That's all I'm trying to do. So the best way for that to actually happen is if this content is helpful for you, please do share it. I don't want to ask people to like and subscribe to my stuff on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere else. If you want to do that and support me that way, that's awesome. I know not everybody wants to share their content, but I feel like the best way to do it is to share it so more people can see it, so more people have access to information that's actually helpful and useful and isn't more of the same photoshopped, photo-edited bullshit and spoon-fed trash that everybody keeps on watching and listening and hearing about. So that's what I'd like. If anybody can do that, I would greatly appreciate it. At this point in time, I'm going to answer some live questions on Twitch as well as Facebook Live. So if you do want to ask questions about the topic I'm talking about or anything else, regardless of whether it's fitness, life, relationships, college, I don't care, whatever it is, feel free to ask. If you want to ask me directly, you can DM me on any of the social channels. The whole point is helping 100 million people. So whether it's answering questions live or person to person, it's all gravy. So that's what I got, guys. So for the YouTube fam out there, I don't want to call it the YouTube fam. I've gotten off that train. The YouTube friends out there, stay healthy and stay safe, guys. Thanks again for watching. Have a great night. Bye.